In this video, what we're going to do is we're going to explore how to use proportions to help us solve some word problems. So the first problem we're going to look at is a delivery person is able to make 7 deliveries in 30 minutes. If he has 3 more hours left to work today, how many more deliveries can he make? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look to see what two quantities or what two amounts are being compared. And I can see that in this case, I'm comparing deliveries to time. And so I'm going to use that information to set up my original ratio, or what I'm going to call my known ratio. And what makes this my known ratio is the fact that I know both parts of it. I know that it's 7 deliveries in 30 minutes. So to do that, I'm going to start by just stating how I'm going to compare. And in this case, I'm just going to use deliveries to minutes. And so I can see here that I've got 7 deliveries in 30 minutes. 7 deliveries in 30 minutes. And now I'm going to look for my question, because my question, of course, is going to help me out. And I can see here it says, if he has 3 more hours left, how many more deliveries can he make? So I'm trying to find deliveries. So that's going to be useful in terms of setting up the other part of my proportion. So I'm trying to find some unknown number of deliveries and in a certain amount of time. And so what time? Well, 3 more hours. Now I run into a little bit of a problem here because hours are not minutes, and that's why writing down those minutes is so important. So I'm going to convert minutes or hours into minutes, sorry, and 3 hours times 60 is 180 minutes. And so now I'm going to go back to using my proportion solving techniques, and I'm going to look for some of my obvious patterns. Right. First of all, I can see that I don't have anything common within a ratio, but I do notice that 30 and 180 go together pretty nicely, and 30 times 6 is 180. So using the property of equality, basically, I'm going to do the same thing to the top half of my proportion. And so 7 times 6 is 42. So this is a really quick way of sort of working this out, that he can, and I'll write this as a word sentence in the end, he can make 42 more deliveries. And so when I'm looking at this, I'm actually looking for, I guess, 5 main components. The first component I'm looking for is that the proportion's been stated in words. The second thing we're looking for is the original rate. And remember, this rate or this ratio is going to be based on the information that's already known. The third piece is setting up your unknown ratio. And why I'm calling this the unknown ratio is that there's a piece that is unknown, right? What you're trying to find. The fourth part is doing the calculations correctly, so getting the correct answer. And then the fifth part is giving a word answer, as is our sort of normal when we are working with word problems. In the second word problem, we were told that a car has traveled 125 miles on 5 gallons of gasoline. If the car still has 11 gallons of gasoline left in the tank, how many more miles can the car travel? So using the same method, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look to see what is our known ratio, or what quantities are being compared. And here we're told that 125 miles on 5 gallons of gasoline. So we have the concept of miles and the concept of gallons. So I'm going to write that down as my word ratio, miles to gallons. So using the information in my known ratio, I'm told that 125 miles is possible on 5 gallons of gasoline. And now I'm going to look for, what am I trying to find? What's going to be my unknown ratio? And so here I can see 11 gallons, how many more miles? So I'm trying to find miles, so that's going to be my unknown in the unknown ratio. And based on 11 gallons. So the question really is asking me, if I can travel 125 miles on 5 gallons, how many miles can I travel on 11 gallons? And so now it's time to start solving. And so what I can see from looking at this is that there's not a clear pattern between ratios, but it looks like there's a pretty clear pattern within a ratio. So 5 to 125, I believe, goes 25 times. So 5 times 25 is 125. So I'm going to do the same thing to the other side of my proportion. 11 times 25, and if I remember correctly, 11 times 25, n equals, well, let's just work that out, 11 times 25, which is n is equal to 250, 275. So it looks like that on 11 gallons, the car can travel 275 miles. And the great thing about, once again, about using the whole word thing at the beginning is there are my units. My units are already listed at the very top, so that serves as a good reminder that I need to have that same unit at the end. And so this is how we can set up and solve proportions to help us solve some word problems.